Maybe I'm being too sensitive. It's really not that big of a deal. At least he's trying, right? Well, nobody's perfect. Ask yourself, am I really listening to him, or am I listening to who I want him to be? So girl, we need to talk because you keep telling yourself that it's not that deep or that he probably didn't mean it. But the truth is you saw the red flags, you felt it, and then you talked yourself out of it. If this is your first time here, welcome to the space. And if it is not, welcome back. This is I'm Jess Sayin, the podcast where we talk all about love, life, and all the things in between. We are here to make sure we stay accountable and we stay self-aware so that we can continue to grow in life. And today, I'll be helping you in your dating process. If that sounds like something you need, please make sure you hit the subscribe button now, leave a comment, and share this episode with someone who always end up in that situationship. Now, let's get into it. So you may be asking yourself, what is a red flag really? I know that term is tossed around a lot. Some people say it and don't really know what it is. So I'm going to explain. Red flags are not just obvious stuff like cheating, lying, controlling behavior. Sometimes they do look like always joking in ways that cut deep, getting defensive when you set a boundary, avoiding questions by turning them into compliments, and talking too much about their ex or not talking at all. The key is this. A red flag is anything that gives you pause or makes you feel a little off. If your gut says, I don't know, don't ignore that. And ask yourself, did that make me feel safe, seen, or small? Now let's talk a little bit about self-gaslighting. Do you know what's wild? We don't always need a man to manipulate us because sometimes we can do it ourselves. You just may be gaslighting yourself if you find yourself saying things like, maybe I'm being too sensitive. It's really not that big of a deal. At least he's trying, right? Well, nobody's perfect. And girl, that's not grace. That is bypassing your truth. When you minimize your own discomfort just to keep someone around, you teach yourself that your needs don't really matter. So ask yourself, would I be okay if this never changed? Next, you need to pay attention to what you feel and not just what they say. Because people can say all the right things and still be wrong for you. He might talk about going to therapy, but does he take accountability? He may say that he respects women, but how do you see him treating the waitress? He might even call you queen, princess, duchess, all those lovely things, but does he actually listen to you when you speak? Because the truth is, energy doesn't lie, but your desperation, that will convince you to ignore it. So again, ask yourself, am I really listening to him, or am I listening to who I want him to be? Now my favorite part, all the lovely red flags that women ignore. So here are a few common ones that women tend to overlook. Inconsistent behavior. He constantly calls you babe, but then he randomly disappears for 3 days. Love bombing. He gives big gestures, have deep conversations, and then all of a sudden he goes cold. The controlling comments. You're too pretty to be out looking like that. You shouldn't wear things like that. That kind of outfit just does not fit you. Rushing the title. He's rushing to be your man, but wants to skip over all of the hard conversations. And then the lack of real curiosity. He doesn't ask you anything meaningful. And listen, if all of this is happening by week 1, imagine how much worse it's going to be by month 6. So ask yourself, if it was my best friend telling me this story, what would I say to her? Now let's get ready to respond to these red flags. So when you see a red flag, you don't have to panic, but you do have to take it seriously. First, you need to pause. Don't respond from emotion. The next thing you need to do is to clarify. Ask questions, not accusations. You can say something as simple as, hey, when you said blank, it made me feel like blank. What did you mean by that? And then you just need to observe the reaction. Do they deflect? Do they dismiss? Or do they dig deeper? Because if someone gets that defensive about your feelings that early on, that's all the data that you need. You're not asking for perfection. You're asking for consistency, emotional safety, and honesty, because you will be given the same. So I just want you to remember, red flags aren't always going to just be waving in your face. Sometimes they whisper, and it's your job to listen. So don't gaslight yourself. Don't try to explain it away, and don't fall for potential, because the right person won't make you question your worth or your potential. So if this episode spoke to you in any kind of way, please make sure you share it with a friend, whether it's someone who's on their dating journey, whether it's someone who's considering giving up on love altogether. You can never be too prepared. And before you go, make sure you download my 5 ways to check yourself before you wreck your relationships. It's free for now, down in the comment section. Please make sure you go and download your free copy today. And as always, I'm just saying, but girl, what are you saying? I'll see you guys next week.